All right, all right, all right. Welcome back to another Tech Savvy Tuesday. I'm your host, Matthew. Glad to have you here. We've got Sabine in the building. I know we're kicking this thing off just slightly after the hour, but as we let some folks in here, we got another new folk here, Dr. Tony. So I'm excited to meet Dr. Tony for the first time. This is wonderful. Welcome to Tech Savvy Tuesday. We've got a lot of stuff going on. We've been making a lot of changes inside of the group. And Dr. Tony, it looks like you're a friend of Sabine. It looks like I've gotten pretty good at lip reading, but still not the best.
Yeah, I
Hi.
invited I invited Dr. Tony.
Absolutely, invite everyone. I
Um,
love it. I love bring more
yeah,
folks to these calls. I love it.
and I'm glad you didn't forget. I was about to email you again, and then I was
No.
like, "Where's Matt? Is he gonna do?" Because last week I came an hour late because of the time difference.
Yeah,
Summertime changes. I was so confused last week. I missed so many calls. It's crazy.
yeah. Well, Dr. Tony, tell me a little bit about yourself. Let me know about a little bit about where you're at in the world and what business you have.
Okay. Hi. Hi, Matthew. I um have been a professor for over 40 years and just retired 3 years ago. And I went headfirst into the business world and tried to create a coaching business that would be profitable. And I have not succeeded in that. However, what I have done really well is create retreats in Costa Rica, in Italy, and that seems to be where everybody wants to go and what everybody wants to do. And I have a lot of friends who are also struggling as beginning coaches in this online world. And it seems that I've become a Pied Piper for other coaches rather than accessing clients who want help with their love lives. I'm a sexologist. I taught
Ooh,
women's
that's a
studies and
sexy word
history.
there.
Yeah, yeah. And I thought sex sells, and obviously
Hold
it
on,
does.
hold on, babe. You want to sit in on this one? No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
But yeah, I've been struggling. I've been, I am absolutely head over heels in debt in 3 years. And they always say burn the boats and go and be full in. And I've worked
Yeah.
12 to 16 hours a day for 3 years and have not found the holy grail of income.
Yeah. Well, one, thank you so much for sharing your story. And it's awesome to see that you're making a transition towards, after retirement, finding something that you're passionate about and trying to, create that set of income from that expertise, the 20, 30 plus years of you doing this, right? It's still a need. The second thing I want to say is I want to welcome you to entrepreneurship. If you're not burning the ships, if you're not drowning in massive debt trying to launch something, then you're not really an entrepreneur, right? Not to say that that's what it should be, but that is the case in most cases when folks go to launch on their own. And again, I don't know what university you were attending or hired you, but I bet if you look deep down in their history, however many years ago, probably hundreds of years ago, I'm sure they had those first 5, 10 years of just we're not profitable, we're not making ends meet, we're struggling, and then something clicked. They either got the right advice, they got the right mentorship, they got something exposed to something that said, aha, I finally figured it out. And so I can only assume that because Sabine brought you here, that you're in her wonderful community and you're learning and trying to apply some of the things that she is sharing over there because she has a wealth of knowledge of
Please
creating.
share the 9 step
Yeah.
sheet,
Yep.
please.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
gotta
you've
show
got your
that
nine sheet.
because
I love
it
it.
came from Matt in the first place.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
Where is it?
Where is it? I think I moved it.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
impressed.
Please.
I was impressed that
So
she's keeping all this stuff.
yeah, no, I'm a professor, so, research is my
Yeah.
thing. So
I
back
love.
there is my battle board, right? And on the flip side are different systems
Mm-hmm.
that I like, that I've tapped into, that I've tried, that I think philosophically it works. but I haven't been able to practically implement it. And one of the things that Sabine and I were just talking about on a call last week was, Sabine, I still have this flow chart that I thought would help me sell courses. And I spent a lifetime teaching education classes, teaching other people to teach, teaching other people to create courses, and that bores the crap out of me. And that's why I wanted to help people with their sex lives in my retirement, not how to write a course. But your system and everything is on the back of that uh,
Yeah.
whiteboard.
And yeah, and you're totally right. We have to find the thing that's sexy to sell, right? It is totally true. In a marketplace flooded with everybody out here creating businesses, like right now, there's probably 100 new businesses that have just been created today, right? From people entering the workforce, people that are stuck at their job as a teacher, whether it's a professor or a doctor, like they're like, okay, I'm making good money, whatever it is, or I'm coming up to retirement, whatever the case may be. I want to have more control of my life. I want to have more control of my finances. I want to be able to do what I want when I want. That's one of the reasons why I got into entrepreneurship and I left some of the Navy for 10 years. I served in the Navy for 10 years, and that's 10 years of doing what they tell me to do, when to do it, how to do it, missing family functions, all that cool stuff, and I hated it. So deep down inside, I made that decision to switch to entrepreneurship after my 10th year in the military. When everybody said, "Matt, you only got to do 10 more. You retire, you get a pension, you get all that cool stuff." I go, "Nope." I didn't want to deal with that headache. And in my core, entrepreneurship, I didn't know what it was, but it was in my core. Like I need to be in charge. I need to have control of my time and my finances. Can I take orders? Yes. Can I listen to someone and guidance? Absolutely. But I need a lot more flexibility in how I do my day. And now that I've been immersed in it for the last 7.5 plus years, 10 years now. Oh, wow. Yeah. I'm coming on a decade. Since I started my first business, I can't ever go back. Right. And so now we've made the we've identified that there's a struggle. We've identified that there's a problem. It doesn't sound like what you're delivering is the problem. It's attracting the right folks in, right? Where am I getting the information, or where am I putting my information at? Am I putting the right information with the right call to actions that tells a story that gets people to the place that I need them to do? And it's a little breadcrumb, right? It's one little breadcrumb that they follow until they get to the finish line, till they get to the becoming a client. And so, again, I don't know how much work you've done with Sabine already, but we're here on this call to transform lives and get some actionable steps. I'm not just going to sit here and grandstand. So I know Sabine, I know you're working with her. So we're going to focus on her for the next, 10 or 15 minutes. Dr. Tony, if you're okay with that, if you don't mind,
Oh, oh, please. I've been a
let's dive in.
Sabine fan for years. And I think we
Awesome.
started in the same coaching group somewhere, someplace many years ago.
Yeah, sweet. So I'm going to try to take you down a path of questions that's going to help me get a better understanding of where your business is currently at. I already have one key indicator, which is you're struggling for clients. You're not getting any. So now we have to say, okay, that's a really big problem. We're not getting revenue. Now we need to go tackle the other areas of the business, the front end marketing and sales area, to ask ourselves, where is the actual bottleneck? Is the bottleneck a sales call? Is the bottleneck content? Is the bottleneck no one's reaching out to me, right? What is the bottleneck that's preventing people to becoming a client? So we're going to work through that here. So my first question is, we're going to start from we're not having clients. So my next question is going to be, that leads me to believe you're not booking phone calls, sales calls, strategy calls. Is that the case?
Are we talking to Sabine or myself at this point? I'm sorry.
For you, Dr. Tony, we're gonna break your business down.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I had a wonderful lead magnet. I was having lots of people do it. It was an online quiz,
Mm-hmm.
and people were booking calls, but I had a 0% show rate. So I
Mm.
joined a new coaching program, spent my last 10 grand, and they were going to help me fix that problem. And what I did is I did it their way, which was to go to TikTok. I became a TikTok star.
Mm-hmm.
And those people don't even access the lead magnet, right?
Yeah.
TikTok is I just
Yeah.
don't think they're my people anyhow. So yeah, so right now I do not have a lead magnet that's bringing people in. I'm pivoting to a new offer.
Mhm.
So I don't know, like I haven't put it out there yet. So
So there's some great news in all that. So what I hear initially as my eyes and my brains go dollar signs, because guess what? You said the key word, and when we're building a business is you had a lot of leads come in from your first lead magnet. Now, what is a lot of leads? I don't know, right? So how many leads did you get, but how many leads emails do you have currently control over in your database?
yeah, that actually helped. I have 800. So from 0 to
Okay.
800 in 3
Okay.
years.
So
And
so
I've had right now I have nobody coming in, no lead magnet, no
that's okay.
nothing.
Here's the good news. I've got more good news for you, Dr. Tony. I couldn't get my iPad to work. I didn't charge it because I was going to pull my fancy whiteboard up and get, I love getting technical and drawing stuff out, but it is a numbers game right now. You have 800 potential leads, right? So, what's 1% of that?
1%, 8.
Yeah, I'm bad with math, so I have to get my big calculator here, but it's eight, right? So
Hmm.
if you do the worst ever in getting these folks on a call and you have the worst conversion rates through the rest of your funnel, if you only convert 1% of these leads, that's eight customers, eight clients. Now, what is a client worth to you when they pay? What's the average pay that they're going to pay you?
Well, I just started a school. That's why Sabine and I were chatting, and that's
Mhm.
$23 a month. But
Okay.
the coaching program is 3 grand, and the retreat is 7 grand.
Perfect.
So
So let's
I
just
got the
say,
latter
just
thing.
let's just yeah, let's just say we're going to pitch the coaching program at 3 grand, because the ascension would be okay. Here's the upsell. Here's where we can really take this experience to the next level. Let me tell you a little bit about our retreat. Now, you're in the coaching program, amazing. But if you really want to take that next level, we have a yearly retreat that we go to. If you want it, if you here's all the benefits, all the lingo, we can add it on top of what you already have, so you don't have to pay the full seven, you just pay the remaining balance. So after you work with me for 90 days at the $3,000 price point, if you decide to go on the retreat, it's 7,000, but because you already came through my coaching program, it's actually only 4,000. And then here's the kicker, and I'm just giving you this so you have things to work with. Here's the kicker. I like to reward folks that make decisions fast. And I don't want you to make a decision that you're not comfortable and confident with. So I'm here to answer any questions you have around the retreat. But if you make a decision here within the next 48 hours and you tell me yes, I won't charge you 4,000 for the remaining balance. I'll charge you 2,500. Or you pick the number that works within your budget. I know you have a margin, right?
Yeah, there's
Give it
money.
a big enough, give it a 20 to 30% discount from the remaining balance for people who take action fast. We like to call it the fast action bonus. We call it the quick decision maker bonus. You can use ChatGPT to create, 1,000 different ways to say that matches your tonality, your brand, and it reflects you. But that's just my initial thought as I get into the next question in terms of focus on your sales calls for just the 3K program. Because a few things here. One, a confused mind says no. If you give them too many options, you're going to overwhelm them. And your focus on too many offers will also blur your focus on what your entire goal is. My goal is for you to get these eight clients the worst conversion rate possible at 3 grand a pop. I can't do math in my head. That's $24,000 in revenue sitting in your email list right now.
Hmm.
Right. And I know you mentioned earlier, right? You're piling up debt just like any entrepreneur, right? But how does 25, like you're sitting on $24,000 of clients. That's where my advice and my focus is going to be for you, Dr. Tony, is like there's a lot of other things you can be doing out there, and you can still be building a school for monthly recurring revenue as a downsell to the rest of your leads that don't think getting on a call with you or working in your program is the best fit. So we're not putting a school community off to the side because it is a $23 or $24 a month, but we're not leading in with that. All of our marketing, all of our drive and with these leads is going to be the number one goal is I need folks to get on a phone call. So we need to create an offer and a story that compels them to get on your calendar of these 800 leads. And typically we want 5% of those booked, right? That's the going mark. So 800 times 5%. You need 40 booked calls. So that's the number, that's the KPI, the metric you want to focus on. What emails do I need to send to get 40 people to book a call with me? And again, this will happen over time, right? It may happen over 2 weeks, may happen over 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. That is determined based on your frequency of emails you send out. Do you send an email out once a day? Do you send an email out once a week? The more, and that's why you see marketers out there where you're like, man, I got like 3 emails from one guy in one day. You
Yeah,
know,
I unsubscribe from those guys.
in most cases you will, because one, those emails don't have any value. They're just trying to get your money. So that's why you unsubscribe. But if those 3 emails were powerful mini steps of your process to these leads, because remember, they came into you from one hot lead magnet.
Mm-hmm.
That's just one module of a bigger module, right? That's one out of 9 other modules you have. So when I give advice to clients on why this is such an amazing strategy and why we train on this, once you've created your product roadmap and your customer journey map, now you have unlimited emails to send. But we don't send them the right way. We typically send an email with an expectation that we want them to do business with us, where 80 to 90% of those emails should be, I don't want to do business with you right now. I just want to educate you and make sure you're 100% confident in my strategy and what I teach. And I actually want to maybe help you get your own wins on your own. Build trust and value through these emails. So that'll be the second step as you start emailing this list. First email is, hey, over the next 90 days, I'm going to be sending out a series of emails going over my 9-step roadmap. And I'm going to be breaking down intimately into each section, micro steps and action steps you can take to get this transformation, to get this result. So make sure you don't spam block me. Make sure these emails don't end up in the promotions tab. White label me and add this email to your contacts list so my email always pops up to the top. Now, will you pepper in a couple offers for folks who want to get help with you? Yeah. Maybe after the 4th or 5th email, you say, hey, I hope this week's email series was amazing. Any of you folks, having any aha moments, hit the reply button, let me know. And then ... PS. Any folks want intimate one-on-one help with me? Click here. Click the secret link here. Boom. And it takes them over to your booking page that sells the call. So right away, right? Like this is the solution. I know that everyone out here is going to tell you like, no, my solution is the right solution. But most people won't tell you, you already are sitting on 24,000 minimum. This is if you convert at the worst numbers throughout the rest of this, Dr. Tony. You are already sitting on $24,000 worth of revenue for your business. And if you make that your sole focus over the next 30, 60, 90 days, I have faith that if you execute this and get help from Sabine and you stop at these calls and you tighten up and dial in that email sequence, subject lines, pitching the call, providing value, having a great landing page for your booked call page. Because remember, we have to sell the call again. Once they leave the email, we got to tell them why they need to jump on this call today and not leave this page. If you have those things in place, that is the best solution to building fast revenue, is selling your high ticket offer first. And then you can pepper in all your smaller and mid ticket offers on the back end. Right. Mm-hmm. So you can have a series of 6 emails, let's say, all value around a series of a step in your process. And then the 7th email is, hey, I hope here's a curation of the first 6 emails I sent out this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'd love your feedback. Hit reply if you have any aha moments or any transformations. PS, if you want to work, I have some slots and some availabilities to help some of you one-on-one to achieve these results a lot faster. If you're open to hearing that, click here. P.S. Or maybe you just want to jump on a group call with me and check out my awesome community. Click here. So you might have 2 buttons at the bottom of the email that pitches your call, but also pitches your group. For the folks that don't want to, get the intimate one-on-one, but they want access to more resources to this training, I have a full database of all this training located in my school. Click this other link here.
Okay, thank you.
You focus on those 3 things. and you show up and get help and adjust just your
Mm-hmm.
email list. Don't spend more money on ads. Don't go out and create a new lead magnet. Don't. No, you have 800 folks that already said, I like what this lady is all about. I like this lead magnet and I see that it may help me now. But now you also you and again, I'm not going to say, I don't want to hurt your feelings here, but you've also this is the importance of not just we're trying to create a business and get you out of debt. I want you to realize that you've left 800 people hanging, not without a solution.
Mm-hmm.
800 people were looking for something to fix something in their life. And that's my passion, is that, yeah, I'm here to create a business and make money and scale other people's businesses and whatnot. But I'm also here to make sure that I'm doing it at a holistic level where I'm not trying to be greedy. So my mindset helps me stay motivated and disciplined to say, oh crap, I just left 800 people hanging. They were looking for solutions. I gave them a piece of it, but now I don't know where they're at. Did they actually solve their problem? Are they still faced with whatever that inadequacy is based on the lead magnet they got? Because I know it's only one small step, one small problem that I help them get some clarity around. What about the rest of their life that I'm not helping them on? Right. And I'm sure you probably, and you can tell me, I don't want to put words in your mouth. Like as a professor, I'm sure you took that pride going into class every day. Like, these students need my guidance and I need to make sure they understand it with clarity and confidence. So when they go out to execute whatever it is you're teaching, like, they're prepared. Right. So you have that drive as a professor. Switch that drive for these 800 leads, because again, as you mentioned, you're drowning in debt, your life depends on it, and once you get one through the door, you just got to get the first one. You get the first person to say yes, and then it's off to the races for you.
Okay, thank you. I leave tomorrow morning to go to a conference where it's where I'm one of the judges. It's like a pageant. So there are 800 new people that could potentially, that's how big the conference is, in the
Yeah.
next 4 or 5 days, sign up. I'm signing books and stuff like that while I'm
That
there.
is, yep, that is a great, so the great news is you're getting in front of the right people. You have a traffic source, right? This is any traffic source, whether it's a billboard ad or a conference and you're speaking, whether it's a Facebook advertisement or TikTok post, right? That's all traffic. So that's good to hear that like, that's not the problem, right? The
Yeah.
problem isn't traffic. The problem isn't people can't find you. The problem is, once they found you, how do I take them from that pain point and expedite them into a solution and a result? And then what's in between there? Okay, that's my coaching program. That's my retreat. That's my school community, right? And along that timeline, how do I move them faster through it? But you're not, yeah, you don't have a traffic problem, right? It's a conversion problem, right? We're not converting the folks you already have interested in you. And now, so again, based off the little bit of advice and guidance that I've given today, right? Mull that over, sit on it, think about how you can approach it with your brand, your language. Use the help of ChatGPT if you're not doing that already to help you flush out. And and I don't know if you know this cool trick, but I like to tell it to act as Alex Hermosi or Russell Brunson.
Oh, yeah.
Tell it, I need you to be Alex Hermosi or Russell Brunson, and I need you to take what this stuff that I'm writing, blah 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 blah,
Mm-hmm.
plug in your offer, just highlight and copy everything about what you're doing in here, and say, I'm attending a conference where I have the potential to be meeting and signing a bunch of books for folks that follow me. How do I pitch this offer to them to get them on a call with me to potentially become a one-on-one client? Be Alex Ramosi when you make this pitch. And that's, again,
I
that's your starting level.
never crossed my mind. I do that with a blog. I'll write an entire blog as me, and at the very end, use the writing style of Mel Robbins because I like she's like a little funny, little snarky, and then it'll make this professor snarky. And never thought about it in business. I use ChatGPT all the time to help me, but
Yep. Those are
never
revelations
said,
that I get. And if that's anything you walk away from today, like, that's the one that might be the golden ticket there for most folks, is telling ChatGPT to create a style, not just for how you write, but how you create your pitches. Like, it has all of this information on these higher level marketers: Alex Hormozi, Billie Jean, Grant Cardone, um, Russell Brunson, Dan Kennedy, you name them all, pick a
Yeah.
style you like, and you have it take your knowledge, which you've plugged into it, and say, okay, now I want you to emulate and be out, and I want my pitch and I want my marketing materials and my offer to sound like XYZ marketer. And you'd be surprised how much clarity you'll get from that. And it'll reword a lot of how you're like, oh, wow, I never thought of pitching it this way. Right. Like, and then you practice that before you go to your conference, and
Yeah.
you can tell it specifically, like, I'm going to be at a conference with 800 plus people that are all could be potential clients of mine. I'm signing my book for some of them. I'll be in the limelight. How do I convert some of these folks, these fans, into actual one-on-one clients into my $3,000 program?
Okay, thank you. And you said like a 9-step or whatever step product roadmap and like a 9-step customer roadmap. I know the
They're the
customer
same thing. I
journey.
call it two different things. It's a product
Okay.
roadmap, but I call it a customer journey map. So it's
Okay.
the same thing. Like, what's my customer journey when they join, when they work with me? Here's the steps they'll complete. But product roadmap, it's the same thing. I know I like to confuse people all the time.
Okay. Thank you. I was like,
But
I don't know
Dr.
what a
Tony, I
product roadmap is.
but one, I definitely need you to make sure you keep Sabine up to date, and so she can keep me up to date. And I don't know if you're in my free digital marketing mastery group, but join that and you can post your wins there. Um, I know I host, this is my TechSavvy Tuesday in my school group, and I told Sabine, like, if she invites anybody, I don't like, they don't need to pay the $5 a month to be here, but I'll let you decide whether or not if you want to come be a full member once you join the free group. I'll drop the free group right now.
Okay.
There's some good stuff in there. Where's my links at? I got links everywhere. So give me 1 second. Let me.
And this is
Tony, you need to come into school. I will give you my affiliate link for the Be Bold community so you could be here
There we
every
go. See,
Tuesday.
I'm gonna let Sabine. I'm gonna let Sabine take over there, like her efforts. Right. Again, because this is also what I'm teaching. So the link I dropped in the chat, that's to my Facebook free group. I
okay.
built it a little bit, but Facebook groups are dying, and I don't spend a lot of time over there. But there are some great resources in there. There are some great trainings and videos that I post in there. But if you do want to be in the school group where I have all the other cool assets and where I go live with this every week, um, then work with Sabine, use her affiliate link so that way she can get her commissions for affiliates. Because that's the whole point here is I also want to teach people how to, leverage long-term affiliate monthly recurring groups, right? So you creating a school group, both of you here and me creating one, it's all about, well, what's my target number? So for me, my target number is 12 new members per month at my price point. So that way, when I get over a year and it compounds, I'll hit a certain monthly recurring revenue around $3,500 a month, right? As it compounds. But my monthly focus is, okay, I need to get 10 to 11 people in every single month. So what are my efforts to get those 10 to 11 people in? I'm in a good place where I don't have to go get high ticket clients anymore. Plus, I don't want to be in that realm anymore. I've already worked with 700 clients and I've got burnt out and I'm just overwhelmed doing it. So, but I'm in a place financially where I don't have to do that anymore. So I'm only focusing on growing my monthly recurring revenue, because long term, if I can get it to 3,500 in the first year, slowly growing it, if I compound it for another year, slowly growing it, now I'm at 6,000 plus per month. That doesn't include all the monthly revenue that I collected as it compounded up. I have a calculator now that I used. I don't know if, have you used a calculator yet, Sabine, to showcase the monthly recurring revenues?
Uh, no, but I have
Okay.
my own little one, the
All right.
crappy one.
So you guys are getting first look at this. It's not fully designed the way that I like to design calculators yet, but this is the first version. It does all the math for me.
Oh, no,
So
I didn't see that one. When did you
yeah, I
post that?
haven't. Yeah, so I haven't released this one yet. So you guys are getting some super secret behind the scenes work that I'm working on, because I'm going to teach and show people why monthly recurring revenue long term is a great add-on downsell for anyone launching a high ticket product. They still need to focus on a high ticket product. So Dr. Tony, don't want you to get too off track. Go do the 800 leads, focus there. But if you could pepper in a school community that charges, again, yours is what, $23 a month,
Yeah.
Dr. Tony? Okay, so we'll do 23 a month. We'll do that for 24 months. And let's say you only want to get 10 new clients every month. So 10, 20, 30, and then I love formulas. It'll do this for me. Boom. So it's going to add 10 new clients per month. It compounds. So in the first year, if you'll grow to about $2,700 per month, monthly recurring, but your overall collected revenue will be close to $18,000 if you slowly grow 10 new members every month. And that's all you focus on, right? So remember, I'm going to go get high ticket clients because it's a bigger punch. But if I can pepper in a smaller offer into my 800 list and only get 10 new folks per month, remember, that's only for the first year, that's only 120 out of that email list you already have. Can you get 120 people to say yes to a $23 school offer over time? This is the metric on how we measure. Well, if the answer is I did it and I couldn't, then that's why we analyze and say, okay, well, there is something wrong, right? It's the offer, it's the messaging, it's the delivery. There's something missing, right? But I like to believe that if we have those things dialed in, we can grow to 120 members over 12 months, little by little. And the price, and it can't be like, oh, well, the price is too much. That's why people aren't buying because it's only $23. It's a no brainer, right? So this is the importance of growing a monthly recurring revenue on the side, focusing like 90% of your focus is high ticket, but then slowly bringing in new members at $23. And then of course you get to that second year, you've doubled your monthly recurring revenue, but it's compounded into $69,000 within year two. Now, this does not account for churn, which is people canceling or leaving the group. But even still, right, these are very low attainable numbers. And if you are providing value in that group, people that not refund, but people that leave are typically just, they were tire kickers anyways. And because you're showing up and providing value in the group, right? And that's what I'm doing. Like I do this call once a week, 4 times a month, $5 a month. Like when people come here, if they see it and they take advantage of the calls and the training, if they don't sign up and keep that membership for life, as long as I keep doing these live calls, I feel like, like, hey, that's bad on them. Like I want to change and be a beacon in the high ticket coaching space where you can get high ticket experience from someone who's actually built a business and helped hundreds of clients do this, but also not break the bank. And also not have any upsells. Like that's a big brand mine. Like there's no upsells on this. There's no behind the scene like, oh, Dr. Tony's in my group now. Let me pitch her an upsell to a product. Like, nope, I'm not doing high ticket sales. I'm not doing any coaching. So also that's part of my branding as well is there's no upsells. Once you're in for that price. And when we do adjust the price in the future, which I think the highest I think I'll ever go in this group is $50 a month. But that's only once we hit certain paid thresholds of 150 members paid, 300 members paid, 500 members paid. I'm going to increase the price as we hit certain paid member thresholds. But this is a calculator to give both of you kind of like what I'll do is it's not finished, but I'll share it here. So you have my draft. Let me open it to make sure that it's viewable and you can make a copy. Okay. Let me know if that link works. So if you want to make a copy, you have at least the dry, non-designed version of this monthly recurring revenue calculator because I'm going to spice it up and talk about all of the front end metrics as well, like how many conversations are you having, how many of those conversations are converting into offers, how many of those offers are being accepted into the group, and how many people are joining your group. Like all of those are funnel parts, funnel metrics and KPIs that will help us like break down where's the leak happening? Why aren't people joining my group? Why am I not getting 10 per month? So questions, follow-ups. We've got about 20 minutes to burn. So I'm here for you guys. What do y'all need?
I'm going to keep quiet. So did Sabine, you get some time.
She's got plenty of time.
Thank you.
She's my number one fan. She shows up like 90% of the time. And some of these folks, they're missing out because we jam for an hour and some change sometimes. And she gets all my attention all month. So Dr. Tony, you're invited to come back and take some of that time. And as we grow, if this call ever gets to above 20 plus attendance, I'll probably drop another call during the week. But that just means two things. One, people are getting value. Two, my group's growing. And three, that means like I love doing this. I could do this all day. I could do 5 hours of just this call with people and just helping folks get clarity and building stuff out. And that's why I want to do monthly recurring, because now I don't feel super bad doing it and taking like 5 or 10 grand from somebody. Like now it's just, oh, it's 5, 10 bucks a month and I can help so many folks. So there's a little bit more of kind of like a give and take part of why I want to do it as well. All right, Sabine, fire away. I know you got
Yeah.
some stuff you want to update me
Well,
on.
if Dr. Tony enjoyed this, she can join every
Yeah.
week. I shall drop the school link so you can have a look. Maybe you just want to position the school group a little bit so that because it's under somebody else's group, so it's not it's a collaboration, isn't it, that you're doing with
Yeah.
real
Javier.
estate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Javier. Yeah, I made a lot of those updates. You haven't seen the about page yet?
No, I haven't.
Well, why don't you go check me out, Sabine,
Right, okay.
and go see what I did?
Right, okay. Well, I
Because
saw the
I know
classroom.
I hear your feedback, and I knew that feedback, and I went ahead and made those adjustments.
Awesome.
So
Well, then,
there's only one image there, I believe, that shows Javier's call. Everything
okay.
else,
Digital marketing mastery. It's all
yeah,
there now. Okay, that's so cool.
it's a
Well
product of
done.
Be Bold. So it's still our collaboration, but it's less confusion of like, well, what is this damn group about? Is it real estate or is it digital marketing? Right. So made the adjustment.
Brilliant. Okay, so there's a link for you, Tony. Yeah, I
I'm
have a few
joining right
questions.
now.
Awesome.
Love it. Make sure you follow the
Um,
first 5 steps, Tony, because guess what? Read the instructions. There's a
Oh,
new giveaway on there.
oh my God. I have to read.
I know, but you'll love it and appreciate it. The Cliff Notes version is if you do the 5 steps in the first 30 days and
Uh-huh.
you give me a video testimonial, good or bad, you can rip me a new hole because I love the
Uh-huh.
feedback. I will personally give you another one-on-one in-depth 2 hour launch call. Separate, private, one-on-one. That's what I'm giving. That's my bonus offer to get more folks when they land on that page to say, oh, $5, this is no brainer. And then just complete
Right.
the 5 steps, which again, it's not that hard to do. So make sure you go through those first 5 steps. And I'd love to gift you that bonus one-on-one call if you get through those 5 steps.
All right, thank you. And one of the things Sabine and I were talking about this past week, I said, as I said earlier, I'm like a Pied Piper for other coaches. We become friends and I get this bigger and bigger group of people that don't want to buy from me, but just want to like hang. And like going to this conference this week, meeting not 800 new people, but I mean, I am constantly meeting people. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, I want to really learn about affiliates because just like I'll sign up right now on Sabine's affiliate link, I think that's something that would eventually compound and be profitable at some point.
Absolutely. I know enough. I know tons of people, including myself. It's not a big affiliate business, side business, but I make a small 4 figure monthly recurring revenue on softwares and affiliate stuff that I promote. School, Go High Level, ClickFunnels, all the ecosystems that I've promoted some of these softwares on. Because people say, "Hey Matthew, what are you building your websites on? What are you telling your clients to use?" And I go, "Oh, they're using Go High Level. Here's the link." And I'll tell them like, hey, that's my affiliate link, right? Like you're not going to pay more, you're not going to pay less, but hey, I told you about it and Go High Level wants to pay me for word of mouth. So it'd be cool if you used my link. And I'd just leave it at that. And then if they sign up, boom, I see it in my affiliate dashboard. Ah, got them. Right. And then again, over time, that monthly recurring, because it's monthly recurring revenue now. So Sabine, even though my program right now is only $5, she'll get half of that as long as you stay an active member. Right. And so, one, it empowers her to say, well, Matthew's doing great things here, and I want to give great word of mouth of Matthew, and I want to bring other people I know that trust me. Well, now school gives us the ability to create that for our members. And so the same is for you, right? Like whether it's you sharing Sabine's group, you sharing my group, that's just in terms of like, well, I don't want to teach this stuff. Matthew's the expert. I've got firsthand that he knows what he's talking about. You know what, guys? I found this guy over here. He's got a hell of a deal for $5 a month. Let me give you my link. You go check him out and show up to one of these calls, and you make a decision if it's worth $5 or not. Now I know $5 commissions on $5 for you all is not a lot today, but again, as the group grows and you send more people this way, it compounds. And it's just another, someone has a need for something. You have now a product, an affiliate link that you can attach to it. And you can start doing that for someone asks you probably like, well, what CRM are you using? Go high level. Okay, well, go get a go high level affiliate link and share that link with them. This is what I use. Here's my link. When you sign up, they'll pay me because I gave a good word of mouth and I recommended it to you. So you won't pay more, you won't pay less, but they'll happily pay me for giving them the recommendation to sign up a new member. Cool.
Cool.
All right, Sabine, lay it on me.
Okay, cool. So my questions. I'm running a masterclass, a workshop tomorrow, and I had my Facebook ads running as well at like $15 a day. And I just looked at the data because I wanted to import have a Zap working, but sometimes it stops. And I
Mm-hmm.
asked what's going on. So they tell me that the leads are not accurate, the data, and they get response blocked the import. So I've just gone
Mm-hmm.
through it manually, and it really appears that these are not real people, and there were men as well. And I'm thinking I could go and fix my ads for next time. I don't know because
Yeah.
with the AI targeting, something didn't work out. So I'm a
Yeah.
bit. There we go. So I spent a lot of money, Dr. Tony, and now I'm like, okay, great. I got like 50, 60 leads, but probably the
Yeah.
quality and the targeting was completely off. The other thing I saw, and I don't know whether that increases with the frequency of the ad, is it had a really high CTR, like 8, 9% on a lifestyle ad.
Mm-hmm.
After a few days, it just goes down.
Got some water there? Sabine, take care. Take a sip. Trust me, I've had those moments too.
It's 1 week of cold and flu.
Oh, man.
Terrible. So I'm not even sure if I can do a workshop tomorrow with this voice.
Yeah. Well, here's the new while you're recovering from the coughs right now. The good news is that workshops are workshops. Things happen, and it's always best to get ahead of it and just say, "Hey, folks, I'm dying here." And doing this workshop tomorrow, just it's a no go. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to give everybody enough time to get their bearings together. We're going to reschedule this for a week or 2 weeks out, right? But in the meantime, I'm going to be sending only the people who registered some cool, amazing stuff in your emails. So keep an eye out and then just work on kind of how you can gift again, value bomb them in the emails, right? Value bomb them where they're communicating with you. And most people understand that because guess what? We all go through the same stuff, right? So, for one, get yourself in a better place to be able to be at your 100%. Okay, Sabine? Because trust me, there's days where, if I can push through, I'll push through. But if you can't, like, that's probably the worst way to show up for your clients and potential clients is like, they'll say, "Oh man, your tenacity is great, but like I can't understand you and you're coughing all the time," and like click and they leave Zoom and then they probably never come back again, right? So um yeah, if you're battling something here, definitely start the prep work of
That's
rescheduling.
crazy. I was talking this morning, was all fine, just
Yeah.
in this moment, right?
Yeah, trust me,
Yeah.
I've gone through two of these already all morning, just water, just because I do all this talking on our team calls, coaching calls, live calls, yelling at my kids because they're homeschooled, so they're running around. I don't really yell at them, but I get dry mouth and I have that cough from time to time too. So, but anyways, okay. So I know ransom ads, data wasn't the best.
Yeah, it's just
Um,
the CTR went down to like 2%.
yeah.
Then the cost goes high. I don't
Hmm.
know if it's exhausting the audience. It's really weird.
It's
It
a it's
starts
a
off
it's a
really well. It starts off really well. And I tested so many different ads as well. I can show
yeah.
you.
Yeah, let's run through it a bit so I have a little bit more context on the ad itself because sometimes the ad can run well in the beginning and then and this is why it's so hard to trust some of these Facebooks and advertisers because they can manipulate if they want to manipulate how it performs, they who's stopping them? I mean, yeah, you have the FTC, but like is Sabine really going to be able to bring enough information to put a case against Facebook, making you pay more for ads? Like no one, like we're not going to be able to fight that. So sometimes it's hard when we run ads. But yeah, show me the ad you were. These are the sets here. Okay, and so cost per thousand impressions isn't too bad.
Yeah. So I've got some lifestyle ones. And yeah, they were actually better because it was more like a story.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it looked like more natural. I got, yeah, it
Oh,
started off at
2.7, 2.8.
8%. This
Yeah.
started off at 8%, which was much better.
Oh well, yeah.
Cost,
That's 8% is through the roof. So like
mm,
2.7 is kind of where you want to be. So you're not. It's not terrible right now, but yeah, I can see where you're like, man, I was crushing at 8%, and then boom, it dropped. So
yeah,
okay.
exactly. That's so frustrating because then I'm
Yeah.
thinking, I can never scale this. How can people get 3,000 people to their workshop,
Yeah.
right?
Well, no, you can scale it based on these numbers. You just put more money on it.
Yeah, but then the frequency is already at,
Yeah. I mean, again, right? Like we run a test to see what we can get. We put enough money behind it, which again, you put $100 on this one. Is it
Mhm.
enough for a test? It's it's the low threshold of a test, right?
So this
So,
is the, maybe it's a copy.
well, let's make sure we look at a few things, right? One, you spent
Hmm.
just $100 and your numbers are actually fair.
Okay.
So it's not a bad campaign. Now, was there some fluctuation on the launch and where it's at now? Absolutely. But that could be a lot of different factors. But I would initially say it's usually because it's new into the marketplace. No one's seen it before. So you're going to get a lot of early action takers when they see the ad the first time. So in the beginning, but then as the ad starts to continue to show up more frequently and to some people multiple times, it could draw back these conversions on the click through rate.
Yeah.
But with that being said, when we looked at those numbers just there for $100, your CTR is 2.7, 2.8, and you're paying $2 a lead and some change. What was the lead cost? Yeah, you're paying almost $3, £3 for a lead. Like that's not terrible. You want to be within $1 to $10 for a campaign like this. So the performance is actually on par for the
But it's
$100 spend.
only, it's not an opt-in. It's not sending it to an opt-in page. So the it's a low threshold, basically. It's a lead form.
Correct.
So this is
Correct.
probably why I'm also getting very low
Low quality.
level
The
leads,
next, yep.
low
If you do
quality
a lead
leads.
form, yes, these are good numbers, but you're probably going to get quality leads because it's a very simple, like no pressure to opt in.
Yeah, exactly. And then some of them just put in, I don't know,
Yeah, weird
something
stuff.
at 123 4 5 6 at googlemail.com.
Got it.
You think,
So
what's the point?
so on the surface level, right, you can see how where I can say, hey, this is a great campaign, put more money on it. But as we dive deeper and you give me more context, I realize this is
Mm.
probably not a good campaign. And again, even though lead forms can work, what they fail to tell you, and all the other experts will fail to tell you, is that they only work if your back end follow up conversion for all these leads is phenomenal. That means you have a setter reaching out personally, sending them a DM. You have the email going out for the next 90 days. You have multiple, like, you have a robust follow up system that can nurture these low quality leads, sell them up your product ladder, and get booked calls, right? Like, that's what they don't tell you. On the surface level, this is a great campaign but you're not going to convert anybody if your back end follow-up channels don't have the converting, are not converting,
Yeah.
right? So with that being said, we have
I
to
mean,
take,
I do have, so they go into the email autoresponder. They have a
Mhm.
7-day nurture,
Yeah,
value add with some YouTube videos, small master classes, lead
yeah.
magnets, all of that stuff. That's the starting point so that they will
Do
be
you have
nudged.
them go into a yearly nurture sequence after that?
Not yet. Well, I still have to build that. I'm
Yeah. So
already happy to have a
yeah.
7-day or a 30-day one.
Yeah, here's my two pieces of advice for you, Sabine, on this, and you can pick the direction that's best for you. I like to give a fork in the road decision. One is if you continue this path and you build everything out, that's what's needed in order to, because these are so low quality. The sales cycle for someone that's coming in on this campaign is 6 months to 7 months to minimum
I mean,
for
I'm
them.
following Evelyn's advice,
Yeah,
like the lady. She does a workshop and she only drives them to school, which is
correct.
$100 a month investment. Whereas, yeah, as you said to Dr. Tony, um, you always sell your 3K program first and then downsell,
Yes,
ideally.
yes.
So I don't think these leads will be open to that. And what she teaches is probably workshop, then to school membership. And her numbers are, I think she usually does, uh, hang on,
Yeah, we'd have to
3,000. So
look at
she
her number.
spends 10
Yeah.
grand. Oh, yeah, we did talk about it. So 10K, she spends 10K
Mm-hmm.
for 3,000 leads. So that's
Yeah.
about 3,000, $3 a lead. Out of those, she then converts 100 and 150 into monthly members. So,
Yeah. So 150 divided by 3,000 gives you 5%. She converts
yeah,
5%.
yeah.
So
So that's
remember,
normal.
that's normal, right? But in order to have those kind of numbers, you have to spend on the front end, right?
Yeah.
And so what that tells me is one, yes, her strategy does work, but now you have to make sure you're comfortable spending that much money to get that many people on a call to convert 5%. Because right now, if you look at the campaign, how many leads did you get from this campaign? 36.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then remember we're doing a live event. So now we
40,
throw in
maybe
like how many
40.
people actually show up to the live event,
Exactly.
and then how many
Mm.
people stay to the end of your event, and then how many people drop off and hear your offer and actually take you up on your offer. So your numbers, again, I want you to have that top view is like what you're doing here is actually really good. It's not enough numbers. Like you're not giving enough volume
Yeah.
to hit what she is talking about. She's talking about volume where she's spending $10,000 or $3,000 or $10,000 to get 3,000 people to sign up. And then only on average, only 50 to 60% actually show up. Right. So she's got 3,000 times, we'll do 60% show up. So 3,000 times zero point 0.6. So she only has 1,800 people show up. But when I say only, that's like, no, 1,800 people showing up for a live presentation. Dr. Tony will tell you 1,800 people is a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's a buttload of people, right? Okay, well, how many of those folks can she get to the end of the call? Typically, you lose about 20%. So take another 20% off of that, right? So 20% of that is 360. So you take 1,800 minus 360. So she's got about 1,440 people she gets to pitch her offer to at the end. Now we start looking at the actual conversion number, which is if she got 100 people, 150 people to sign up, so 150 divided by 1440, her conversion rate is
10%.
actually 10%,
Yeah.
10.5%.
Yeah. Sounds about right to me with the $100 7-day free trial happening as well. Yeah.
And so
And
larger
that
group,
means, yeah,
you got to have
latte.
larger groups, larger numbers. Same with like email lists, same with traffic. Like we have like the takeaway we can end on here for you, Sabina, because I do have to jump
Hmm.
off and
Yeah.
we can always discuss this later, is
Yeah. Perfect.
the front end metrics on what you're doing is actually not terrible. There may be some inadequacies on who's putting in the lead form, so that could be adjusted and who it's targeting. But volume, you're missing volume on the back end for conversions. And that's what's taking forever. Because I know the last one you hosted, you had a very similar issue. You only had like 30 people or 40 people sign up. And how many people showed up? Like eight, I think.
4 or 5, yeah.
Four, right? And so,
Mm.
and yeah, maybe all four stayed to the end. And then how many did we, like, you see how it's so much harder to convert those final four into something, even if it is a free group or a paid group.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's and so that just gives you some. I hope that relieves you a little bit. And like, well, okay, maybe it's not my offer. Maybe it's I just don't have the volume. I'm not getting in front of enough people. And if you're going to follow her strategy, which does work, again, every strategy works out there. Is it the right strategy we need to focus on right now, based on our income goals that we're trying to achieve, our revenue goals? My revenue goals are 12 months out. So I'm not looking for big wins, high ticket prices. I'm slowly growing my group, one weekly call at a time, building new relationships with new folks like Dr. Tony, providing value each and every week in my group on this call. And then I hope that you guys become loyal fans of mine and you spread the word. This is the place to be. But if we're trying to go the high ticket route and we're going, or her route to grow fast, we pour liquid fire on that, which is ads. So when the time is right, I don't want to spend $10,000 right now. Even if I go get a credit card, I don't want to spend. If I were to spend her numbers, I believe I could probably convert 50 to 100 people as well into my group. But I don't want to put that stress on myself financially. And I'm not trying to get quick wins right now from that. So we have to ask ourselves, well, if we're going to grow it long term, keep that realistic long term goal. If we can't match the ad spend, and if we can't match the ad spend, organic is the only way to go, then that's going to take time. Organic is a time consuming beast.
That's the thing. I mean, I if I could 10x the ad spend like tomorrow, if I knew what's going to be the conversion and the return on investment, but I haven't tested it
Yeah.
completely and I haven't optimized the whole funnel. So I'm not actually,
So yeah,
not
so this is a
confident yet.
yeah, so this is a key indicator for everyone out there watching this replay and for the two fine ladies I have here today getting some knowledge. And how do we build confidence when launching ads is expect to spend $2,500 to $5,000 testing an actual campaign. That is the benchmark of a testing an ad campaign. You're going to burn through $2,500 to $5,000 legitimately testing all the different ad sets, because $100 here and there, you can't get, you can get some numbers, but you need, but like, again, you not getting enough data sets to tell you what's going to work and convert. And people don't tell people that when they get into ads. They just say, oh, go launch an ad for $5 a day and you'll get leads and you'll get blah, blah, blah. Like some of that is true if you figured it out, but they don't tell you like, oh yeah, by the way, it took us 6 months testing this and we dropped about 6 grand into it before we were able to do $5 a day and it converted. Oh, so you bait and switched me on your marketing and said all these great things, and now I'm in your coaching program for 5 grand, and now you're telling me like, oh, I was supposed to already come with a converting funnel and all this other stuff beforehand. Ah, got it. And that's what I hate to hear and see is when folks spend money like that and they weren't fully transparent, the bait and switch. They didn't give all the information. So I want to be labeled as the most hated high ticket coach in the business because I want to debunk all those gurus and experts, and I want everybody to come to me and get advice before you go on any program, really, because half the shit they sell is if you have something already set up converting well.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's to get there. That's the hard
Mm-hmm.
bit.
The hard part is what we're working out
So
today.
yeah, absolutely. And so would you suggest then to funnel people to the landing page so that I could get higher intent and a higher quality?
So that's road number two. I definitely think funneling folks to a more qualified, high to get higher quality people registered is the best thing to do. You may spend more per landing page or
Mm.
per lead or per registration, but now you know you're getting quality folks and not tire kickers, because there's that next wall like, hey, if you want to do this thing, watch this quick 5 minute video and then register, because you're making sure it's like this, before you just sign up, please make sure this is the right event you want to go to. And here's who I'm looking for. Here's who it's going to help. Here's the transformations we're going to have. The same kind of ESL setup. And then present them the link for them to register. And again, right at that point, Sabine, you have so many great things and so many great funnels. I would give you the same advice as I would give Doctor that I just gave Dr. Tony. Stop running ads for now. You have a database of folks. I'm sure your lead list is well over 1,000 plus. I think last time we spoke, I can't recall. I think you said like maybe 4,000 or 5,000 or something, or
Yeah, about 2,200,
2,000.
but I
Yeah.
had to filter out people who never open my emails, and I tried to
Yeah. Re-engage them. I know we talked about
reignite
this months
those.
ago. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you had any if you have any emails or any email prompts, that would be useful
Yeah.
for both of us. So
Yeah.
because we both need to reignite our email lists and
I
sort of
do
get.
think there's an email prompt inside of the classroom under the $1 million vault. There's some chat GPT prompts around emails in there. You might want to dig through there first and
Mhm.
see if there's anything you can find in terms of creating email prompts and then adjusting it. I'll see what I can come up with and share that as well with you too. But yeah, again, right. Stop bleeding money on the front end, especially if you don't have the capacity to do a 5K, 10K spend testing and converting. I'd start, like I said, try to go with people you have in your circle. And even if they don't fit the ideal person, man, get them to find, like, hey, do you know anybody that could benefit from being at my live show?
Yeah,
Have them
yeah.
go and ask. Like, you got to know somebody in your circle that would benefit from attending my 3-day masterclass to get this transformation, right? You'd be an awesome friend if you shared that with them. I'd owe you a $10 Amazon card or something. I don't know. Bribe them. Shit. I don't know. If you can prove to me you sent 5, 6 people to show up, you spread my name, right? Word of mouth. So leverage, that's the best advice I give folks where, cause I'm very money conscious. I'm very like, don't spend more money than you have to. Don't go into more debt if you don't have to, right? Let's leverage what we've already built because you've already spent money to build that
Or time.
and time. Well, time is money, but you've already built that. So we need to leverage that first before we go spend more money because that's also the final indicator here that I'll talk about is if we already built a list of folks and they're not converting, going and getting a new list of folks, it's most likely going to happen again, which tells me it's not getting the list of folks. It's we're not converting properly on the back end, whatever it is, right? We need to identify like, is it our offer? Is it our language? Is it our sales call? Is it our landing page? Is it our sign up page? Is it our price? Like there's something there is why people aren't buying. It's not
Mm.
getting in front of folks. We know how to do that. I know how to get leads. I know how to be a author of a book and get people wanting to sign books like Dr. Tony, right? Like she's got a book. That's cool. Like she doesn't have a problem with traffic. She has a problem with being able to take that loyal fan and that customer or that person and turn them into a paying customer. So it's something in between there that's the bottleneck here.
Matthew, I just started, I looked at my email list and I looked at the people that are opening it.
Mm-hmm.
And I started a Loom calls this past week, like just show my face for 1 minute, 2 minutes, say hi, and if we can get on a call, not trying to sell you anything, I just would love to catch up from the last time we talked. And if I remember, I'll put that in there. And I think this is going to take forever to get through the list like that, but does that sound
I
like
love it. And the best way, so you can do one, be super personal. Maybe you're looking at that list of emails and you're like, there's 25 people I see that I know have mentioned or have expressed that they would love to work with me. But I never, so maybe those 25 folks, you send a very detailed personalized Loom video. Everyone else, use ChatGPT to take the personalized video. Now make this into a general video I can make to send to the other 725 people on my email list. So I only need to make one video for the rest of the folks on the email. And you blast that to the rest of your email list.
okay, thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, ladies, I do have to jump. I've got a call that I'm running up into, and I appreciate you both being here. And we'll be here next week, and I look forward to seeing some progress and some updates and some wins. Even if the win is just I created my email list, I created the Loom video, I did something. Always good to share. So, thank you all for stopping by today. I really do appreciate it, and we'll see you
Thank you
next
so
week.
much. Take care.
Bye.